Know more about incineration in 10 minutes. Hello everyone, I'm Lim Song Sing. My metric number is 139137. I'm from School of Biological Science. There are 5 parts in this video. What is incineration? We throw rubbish every day. Do you ever wonder where do all the rubbish goes? Half of the rubbish goes to open burning dump. Only about 15% of the municipal solid waste goes to incinerator. So what is incineration? To put in non-jargon words, you simply collect all the rubbish and burn it together. Incineration is a way to treat waste through controlled burning. Take note here is that it must be a controlled process. Well, we can't really rely on forest fire to clear out all our rubbish, right? Or maybe your neighbor that burn rubbish in open area? Jokes aside, all this waste is shredded and heated to over 1025 degrees Celsius in a furnace. The temperature varies between each country, but in generally, it is over 1000 degrees Celsius. Now let us talk about common misconception of incineration. A lot of people think that incineration can solve a lot of problems. I ever heard my relative talk about it.
When you put all rubbish to the incinerator, all this rubbish gone, just gone. Our problem solved. So why bother with recycling? It's just a waste of time.
I'm really shocked when I heard it. Probably I take my knowledge as granted. In the hindsight, it appeared to be correct, but no, the rubbish does not just disappear, it just turns it into other forms of energy. The first law of thermodynamics, also known as law of conservation of energy, states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Energy can only be transferred or changed from one form to another. Rubbish is a form of energy. After you burn it, it doesn't turn into nothing, but instead it turns into other form of energy, sometimes not the one we desire. You don't get extra oxygen when your neighbor burns rubbish, right? All you get is irritating gases, sometimes poison one if your neighbor is burning plastics, and some ashes will still remain there. So, when your neighbor burns the rubbish, at least it will reduce into ashes and a lot of gases, be it beneficial or poisonous one. I use open burning as a metaphor to incineration, because open burning by your neighbor is so much more relatable to my audience than incineration. So this leads to my next point. Pro and cons of incineration. There are 3 main benefits of incineration. First, reduce the volume on mass of waste, can kill specific pathogens and toxins, and produce electricity. First, incinerator reduce the solid mass of the original waste by 80 to 85% and the volume by 95 to 96% depending on the composition and degree of recovery of material such as metal from the ash for recycling. Garbage truck will compress the volume of waste before delivering it to the incinerator. This is very important for countries that has limited land such as Singapore. This means that while incineration does not completely replace landfilling, it significantly reduces the necessary volume for disposal. Second, incineration has particularly strong benefit for the treatment of certain waste types in niche areas such as clinical waste and certain hazardous waste where pathogens and toxins can be destroyed by high temperature, although it may release other pathogens and toxins to the atmosphere too, which we will discuss later. Examples include chemical multi-product plants with diverse toxic or very toxic wastewater streams, which cannot be routed to a conventional wastewater treatment plants. Third, the heat produced by an incinerator can be used to generate steam, which may then be used to drive a turbine in order to produce electricity. We can produce 550 to 750 kilowatts hour of electricity per ton of waste. With continuous burning throughout a year, it can power up to 20,000 homes with enough generators. Let's talk about disadvantages of incineration. The bad part of incineration is that it releases potential hazardous gases, causes air pollution, produces fly ashes and bottom ashes, which have limited function. First, incinerator will release many dangerous gases. We mentioned it before, for example carbon dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, hydrochloric acid, heavy metal, and fine particles. Of the heavy metals, you need to remember mercury, as mercury is a major concern due to its toxicity and high volatility. Some mercury compound can kill you if you simply get a few drops on your hand. This is not something to joke with. Second, incineration causes air pollution, which basically you just turn rubbish from one pollution to another kind of pollution. The fume released from the incineration is very visible if there is no filter on incinerator. It is a visual pollution and general public perceive as poisonous gases, which is pretty true in most cases. Third, incineration produces fly ash and bottom ash. The total amount of ash produced by municipal solid waste incineration range from 4 to 10% by volume and 15 to 20% by weight of the original quantity of the waste, and the fly ash amount to about 10 to 20% of the total ash. Both of them are really nasty. We can produce brick with fly ash, but basically fly ashes and bottom ashes had really limited functions. Both ashes often contain high concentration of heavy metal such as lead, cadmium, copper, and zinc, as well as small amount of dioxin and furans. Trust me, you don't want to live near the incinerator. Imagine your kid breathing all these ashes. It is a total nightmare. Now, let us move on to the next section of the video. What can you burn and what you cannot burn? I need to make it really clear here. Just because you can burn this thing doesn't mean you should burn this thing. Think twice before you send any rubbish to the incinerator. You should consider recycling before you want to send it to incinerator. So, what is the object that we can burn safely? First, non-recycled cardboard. Cardboard that has been coated with wax or printed on with ink cannot be recycled. Non-recyclable paper, yard debris, for example, dry grass, tree branches, and dead leaf can all burn safely. Truth to be told, there are many things that can be safely burned. Even all this cardboard may release toxic fume if they have inks. So, just like what I mentioned before, think twice before you burn anything. Things that you shouldn't burn are battery, as battery contain flammable electrodes, toxic fluoride gas, and heavy metals. Magazine, as its ink printed on the paper, release toxic fume when burned. Plastic and rubber. Burning plastic and rubber release many chemicals, including dioxins, which are toxic to you and harmful to the environment. Aerosol cans. Aerosol cans are highly pressurized and can explode when exposed to high temperature. Electronic gadgets like phones, explosive, obviously, medical waste, nuclear waste. If you come across one, you should probably know what you're doing. Okay, that's a job, just in case you don't know. Or any other stuff that you don't know. If you don't know what are you burning, please don't burn it. Okay? So the last part of the video is what is the alternative for incineration. The word then caught my attention is pyrolysis. Pyrolysis is the thermal degradation of organic material in the absence of oxygen. Thermal decomposition of organic components in the waste starts at 350 to 550 degrees Celsius and goes up to 700 to 800 degrees Celsius in the absence of oxygen. The main difference for the pyrolysis and incineration is that pyrolysis does not need oxygen, but incineration needs a lot of them. So what is so good about pyrolysis? First, pyrolysis has a better efficiency than incineration. Second, pyrolysis is also more eco-friendly as it does not produce harmful gases and flying ash compared to incineration. Third, pyrolysis can be performed at small or large scale. This can be used to control the cost of waste management effectively. On the contrast, pyrolysis also has a fair share amount of disadvantages. This technology is not well developed yet. Incineration is way more developed and generating more examples. Second, it is harder to create an oxygen-free environment for pyrolysis to occur. In my opinion, pyrolysis has a better prospect than the incineration. I will include my reference at the end of the video. That's it for my video. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.